In February, Last Epoch with Trade 1.0 is coming, and it's very exciting. We've all been waiting for Trade, players of Last Epoch. It's one of the main reasons I haven't played the game a whole lot, why I have minimal footage. They have a very unique system they've developed that I've hinted at in the past in a video a long time ago when it was first announced. Circle of Fortune versus the Merchants Guild. These are the two factions you can join pretty early on when you start the story mode. And they did this so that they wouldn't have to have a solo self-found league with a separate basically trade league, and they didn't want to have to balance both, and they wanted the whole player base to kind of come together in unison, and they wanted it so that players could play with each other in multiplayer even if they were members of these two different factions. We now know the details. It's been announced, and you pretty much can join a faction and you can switch between them at any time as you commit through the story and as you complete objectives. What I found here reading through is that you gain reputation, and this reputation allows you to meet multiple tiers in the factions, respectively. But you can switch between them. You just have to do the specific quests, basically, in order to get that one up. And then it also, as you complete these quests, gives you favor. Favor will be the currency to list things. So I'm going to go through this a little bit in a very short format. Reputation and rank. You get enough reputation, you get the ranks, and the ranks I'm going to go over shortly. And then this favor allows you to post items for sale if you're the Merchants Guild, and it allows you to do something when... I'm going to check what that is with the Circle of Fortune. Let's see. I know that generally the Circle of Fortune is to give you prophecies, which allow you to buff up item drops. I'm going to go over that pretty much now. Let me skip ahead here. And then you do have these vendors, which you can kind of gamble with, which is going to be cool. Yeah, so the Merchants Guild is the one I've been paying more attention to because, of course, I'm a person that crafts for profit, and I'm a person that wants to buy a specific unique for my build so that I can build a custom build without having to farm for it because I just don't have the free time. And this is what's nice about trade, of course, in any ARPG. And so when you start with rank 1, when you achieve rank 1, now you have to achieve rank 1 in order to trade at all. You can't just automatically trade, and then you have to spend favor to list it. Rank 1, you can buy and sell normal magic and rare items. The items are equipment. You can't trade shards for crafting. But you can, of course, trade in a piece of equipment that you can be broken down with a rune of shattering. That's very true. When you hit rank 2, you can start trading set items. Rank 3, trade certain uniques, which are basically just basic uniques. And then you can only trade idols at rank 4. And then, which is kind of good. Idols are huge. I don't like to have to farm for them. I want to buy the ones I need to really min-max my build. Rank 5, you can start trading exalted weapons, which of course are used to imbue uniques with legendary potential into actual legendary items. You can trade unique weapons with legendary potential at rank 6, and then at rank 7, you can trade all exalted items, not just the weapons. At 8, you can even trade uniques with legendary potential. When you achieve rank 9, you can start trading your legendary weapons, and then you can just trade anything you want at rank 10. This, of course, is to deter bots, is to deter RMT, where you can go online and buy an item like you do, like a lot of people do in D2. That became very popular in Diablo 2, and which is, of course, banned in PoE for good reason. PoE is an open market, though, so everything's tradable at all times. However, you have the bots, as we all know, and you have to keep spamming them. You go into here, you can search. What's nice and what's kind of unique compared to PoE is that you don't need a third-party client, or you don't have to minimize your game. It's going to be right there in the bazaar. Inside the game, you can go put things up for sale and buy them. When you put them up for favor, you list it for whatever gold you want. Gold is used, of course, in the dungeons, mostly, truth be told. You can, of course, buy from other merchants the standard way, but most people are going to want to do it with the dungeon mechanic. And when you delist an item, if it doesn't sell, you lose the favor. You have to go get your favor back up. This, of course, again, to deter bots from just auto farming. It's really a way that the game is trying to say, hey, if this is for sale, it is from an actual normal player. It's not from some kind of a system which is just designed to make profit off the game. Circle of Fortune is a very cool idea if you like solo self-found. I will ultimately play around with it. Now, let's say I do a bunch of Trade League and I want to play around with Circle of Fortune. I won't be able to equip any items that I bought or found while in the Merchants Guild. So I'll have to like start over basically. You can't cross equip. However, you can change your faction at any time. You just can't use the items you got during that timeline. And that's in particular relevant to Circle of Fortune because at rank 1, you get this 35% chance to drop twice as many items. It's all for farming. It's prophecies. And the prophecies stack with these ranks. And then here you have a chance for Runes of Ascendance. It's been so long since I played. I think that might be the one, which is kind of like an ancient orb. It allows you to convert a rare into a unique or a set item, I think. I need to get back in the groove. And then, of course, as you can read here, you get a 25% chance for 2 or more to drop at the same time at rank 3. And then you get this. This is great right here. 50% more likely to get Exalted Affixes. You have to really farm for that. Exalted are the purple colored affixes, which have a much higher tier, and which you can then also transfer over, like I said, to uniques. It's a very Last Epoch thing where you can have a unique and then you add an affix from an exalted item. It's very nice, especially with like amulets, but also weapons, body armor, everything else. Double rewards at rank 5. Uniques twice as likely to have this legendary potential for upgrading. Tier 7 affixes twice as common. Those are rare. Tier 6 affixes are exalted affixes, and Tier 5 is normally when you craft the limit. And then as you can see, more chance for exalted any items at rank 8, and then a set item. The whole set drops instead of one set item. Interesting, right? If you because remember, this is not trade, so like when you're trying to get a full set, hey, there's your chance. This rank really gives you the opportunity to get that full set to wear and play around with and try to develop a build around. So this is for people that like to play solo and to farm and like that style of the ARPG grind. And then these prophecies are these kind of items that you buy. You look at a constellation and then you can activate different prophecies. And I'm not going to go into detail. I'll let you read up on these. But, when you get these prophecy rewards, it gives you even more stacked Magic Find effects. And then you can use lenses in your telescope, which permanently go into the telescope for that league. And can be exchanged amongst characters, is what I understand. So you can have the same lenses for multiple characters. And they allow, like, you to really fine-tune what prophecies you want. Like, if you want a prophecy that gives you exalted weapons only, if you really just want to work on your weapon, then you can sort of siphon in the way to do that through the lens, and you can basically discourage certain prophecies from appearing and encourage other prophecies from appearing. See, here's one if you want to really look for large idols. I'm definitely Merchant's Guild, I mean, for sure, but it's quite an interesting concept for people that don't like trade in ARPGs. There's a surprising amount of them in the Last Epoch community. It sounds strange if you're a PoE player because you think of trade as so integral to the game. Otherwise, you just play solo self-found, but there was a big pushback on trade, and they've developed this very interesting system. Now, the last thing is resonances. I've touched on this in the past video. This is just something you get, and then you can apply it to an item you find, and it can be... it's linked to your account only, and it can only be handed to your friends that you've played with a long time. It's a very interesting idea. The game somehow has an internal timer to know, like, if me and Viper are playing, that we've played together in a party for a certain amount of time. And this does have risk in a sense so that it could be abused, but I don't think with bots and with like RMT that this would be an issue, because you would have to like play with the bot for such a long time. And it might, I think it's multiple hours, or maybe even, I don't know. It's not actually revealed how long, and they're doing that on purpose. But it's basically where if I'm usually playing a party play with a friend, and then the prophecies, which are quite rare apparently, drop, and then I just hold this prophecy till I need it. And as you can see, there's different kinds here. There's one for exalted or legendaries, and then one's for everything else. The golden is lower tier than the obsidian, and it's just so that then I can hand it over to him. Because normally when you gift an item for free in Last Epoch, you have to be in the same party, in the same instance, in the same zone. Here you can apply it to the item, and I could say, okay, Viper needed this bow. I can now apply it to the item, and then it's locked to that account, and it can go to him. Interesting, right? We'll see how this plays out. I look forward to it. I look forward to Merchant's Guild and trade, crafting for profit, and having the ability to make more builds without spending so much energy farming. I'm definitely a big fat Merchant's Guild.